This is a video walkthrough for your Mining in Minnesota research project. Use this graphic organizer to complete your mining research project. You will complete independent research on the topic of mining in Minnesota. You are welcome to use the sites listed below each topic or look for additional resources to complete your research. You will have to read through the websites. This will be a hard project if you're only skimming or racing through the materials. You are reliant on your group to do their research, and they are relying on you to do yours. An excellent place to start for all subjects is your Northern Lights textbook. Use the index or book search to specifically narrow your search. Most will find success in Chapter 11. I've got our text already open here, and I used my learner login in order to get into there. Inside of Chapter 11 is our focus, flour, lumber, and iron. But I can also come up here and search. So if I wanted to see things about iron ore, well, it's going to show me all the pages that I would like to look at for iron ore. This is not enough information, is it? So I'll have to probably click it in order to see what's going on. And it will bring me to that page, and then I'll look through all of the mentions of iron ore. That's how to use your book search. You will work in a group of 4 to do your research. If you are assigned number 2, then you complete the questions for number 2, the daily life of a miner. Where did I find that? Well, here's 1, and there's 2. So if I'm assigned to number 2, that's where I'm going to do my work. For part 2, you will gain the information researched by your team to add to your answers. This would be a helpful document on your exam, provided you and your team write incomplete, detailed sentences. If you're not sure of something that your partner said, ask questions now, as you will not be able to during your exam. You have a spot for the members of your group. You'll notice I gave you 3. There are 4 people per group, so that means that I'm putting down my friends. I'm not putting down myself. Then it says who's responsible for each section. So kid number 1, if that was my number, I'd put down that I'm responsible for number 1. Whoever's number 2, 3, and 4. Each of the sections flow similarly. You'll notice you've got a headline, and then you have some links. There are questions. Like this one says, question 2, why was the discovery of iron ore important for Minnesota? Well, here are some links to find the answer to that question. When I open one of them up, I'm going to look through the article and see if I can find the answer. Again, you do not want to rush through this. There's a lot of information on these websites, as well as in your online textbook. This would be helpful as long as you're taking time to go through it. Question 1, who found iron ore in northern Minnesota and when? Somewhere on here, you'll find the answer. Why was the discovery of iron ore important for Minnesota? Somewhere on here, you'll find the answer. How did iron ore help the United States grow? Again, somewhere here, you'll find the answer. You might have to open up all or some or none of these links if you're choosing to do your own research. But you'll notice that I did make it easier for you by providing you 5 websites that will assist you. If you're kid number 2, you have the daily life of a miner, and there's 5 additional websites. Question 1, what tools did miners use to dig for ore? Well, perhaps I'm even going to use this one. This is Miners in Minnesota. This is an image collection. If I'm not feeling like I might want to read, I might open up some of these images and see what type of tools I'm able to identify. What was the work environment like? Perhaps the same thing. I can go back in and I can look for, I'm going to close my tabs so I don't get confused. I can look back in for some sort of view of the environment where people are working. Here's pictures of guys who are underground. I might describe what that work. Well, what are they wearing? I might describe what I see. Maybe that's a tool that they're using. What were some dangers faced? You'll see things here. How did mining affect the health of miners? You'll see things here. This is the rise of mining towns. You'll notice there are 6 links for you to look at. The first question for kid number 3, what towns were built because of mining? I might look to see what one of these titles best fit talking about towns. How did mining change life in the towns? What kind of businesses started in these towns? Kid number 4 is looking at modern Minnesota. How did mining change the land in northern Minnesota? Here are some options. What kinds of pollution did mining cause? How do people today try to protect the environment from mining? And those are the questions plus the resources for your Mining in Minnesota research project.